Yo, what's going on, Blackish fam? It's your boy B. I'm a little bit under the weather, so decided to go back to some classics. We've been having a lot of conversations in the comment section about top one, top three in hip hop, and I made the mistake of saying Nas was only top 10 to 20. And boy, I could taste the foot coming out of my mouth, right? Because I'm going back and forth with people, and I stopped to think, who would be, not that Nas isn't top one or top three, but who would be above Nas, right? And you think of a Kanye West, you think of Eminem, you think of Kendrick Lamar, Joyner Lucas, but with longevity in the game and being as authentic as possible, it's a hard argument. So just going back to some of the classics, like, man, when we think of Nas, what music do we think of? When we think of, how do we define number one, right? But I just want to go through some classics. This is Nas, Get Down. I've always loved this song, but I never broke down the lyrics and really took a look at it like that. Let's do it together. Let's get to it. Get Down. Love the beat to this. I wonder actually where this is sampled from. I should have checked this out. I never had. But man, I love that.
New York streets will kill us a walk like Piston Pete and Pappy Mason. Gave the young boys admiration. Prince from Queens and Fritz from Harlem, street legends. The drugs kept the hood from starving.
He's talking about just street legends that are really specific to New York, right? Like Nicky Barnes. He's saying that was back in the 70s. This is around the time that, now remember, this is how hip hop originated, right? It was after that great blackout in New York in 77, right? It's when Africa Bambaataa, right? And all that. So, I'm an older cat, so I know that. But it's important. It's good that he references things like this because hopefully if people don't know who these figures were, and they've been demonized and stuff since, but, you Google Nicky Barnes, right? Or Pappy Mason. And you can actually learn quite a bit about what they stood for. And not all of it is as evil as you think.
Pushin calls Nicky Barnes was the 70s, but there's a long list of high-profile celebrities worldwide on the thorough side of things. Live as kings, some died, one guy, one time, one day grasped me. As I'm about to blast heat, 40 side of burning, I turn well, he asked me, what you up to, the cops gon' bust you. I was a teen, drunk or brute, stumbled, I wonder the card center, cause 2 squad cars into the block.
It's kind of cool, right? When you look back at all the times you could have got locked up. Right, I'm from Chicago, right? Everybody knows in high school, and it's not that you're a bad kid. You just get into things, and sometimes something stops you, right? And one could say God, one could say Allah, one could say anybody that whatever it is, something saved you from making a big mistake. And he's saying that, right? Says some dude stopped him when he was on the side of the building where he was about to start busting. He had that thing on him, right? Listen to what he's saying. And he was drunk. The 40 side of him.
Asked me, what you up to, the cops gon' bust you. I was a teen, drunk or brute, stumbled, I wonder the card center, cause 2 squad cars into the block and looked at us. I ain't flinched when they watched. I took it upstairs, the bathroom mirror, brushed my hair, staring at a young disciple. I almost gave my life to what the dice do.
Yo, listen to what he's saying, right? He almost gave his life to what the dice do, right? He almost gave his life to the streets. But something stopped him, and for those that aren't from the hood, man, you never flinch, right? When the cops, if they're driving by you, you're driving dirty, whatever it might be, the worst thing you can do is break your neck, turning back looking. You better just be cool, keep your composure, bro.
Yeah, man, throwing them bones. Hoping my ace get his case thrown.
This case thrown, for those that aren't from the hood, that's getting your case thrown out. That means you're working to try to dispute the beginning, either how they discovered evidence, right? Was it a legit act? How were you pulled over? What were so when he talks about getting his case thrown out, you're basically in the preliminary stages of defending yourself, and you're attacking how they got the evidence in the case. That's what it means.
Yeah, man, throwing them bones. Hoping my ace get his case thrown. This girl ain't wait for him. She in the world straight hoeing. Why you looking at centerfolds? A pretty girl showing a little cooch. Gangsters don't die, he's living proof. The DA who tried him was lying.
The DA, it's sometimes referred to in different ways, but on the East Coast, they call them district attorneys. If you're in Illinois or Chicago, they call them a state attorney. It's basically who's against you when you get charged with a crime. They're representing the state. They're bringing charges against you for X, Y, Z.
I do. Killed his mother during the case. Hung jury. Now the DA is being replaced. Free child here.
It was a hung jury. So basically they couldn't come to a conclusion. The jury, it's normally a jury of 6 or 12. If they can't reach, there's different ways, but you guys get it. Basically, they couldn't come to a decision.
When it's over, it's real for the soldier. Walks in the courtroom, the look in his eyes is wild. Triple homicide, I sit in the back aisle. I want to crack a smile when I see him. Throw up a fist for black power, cause all we want is freedom. He grab a court officer's gun and start squeezing. Then he grabbed the judge, screams out, nobody leaving.
Everybody get down. Get down. That needs no breakdown, right?
Everybody.
Just a simple chorus, but sick, right?
Some niggas fuck their enemies in their ass when they catch a weird ass niggas who dangerous, so don't test them.
There's people out here that move differently, bro. You always think you're some special type of thug until you meet another type of thug, right? There's that movie. What is that with where he smashes dude in the ass, his enemy. And it's like, yo, I don't get down like that. But what Biggie say? Fuck them in their ass, throw them over the bridge, right? No homo.
They make you disappear, this a year that I won't forget. Sold CDs, double platinum at Mo execs. Southern niggas, independent label, real killers. Know the business, ran Tennessee for years, now they chillin'. They had the coke.
Some people made moves back in the day. And don't let the government fool you. A lot of people have beat the system. I wouldn't recommend it, especially in this day and age. But there's a lot of people that moved weight and got out of the game and made it to a better place. That's what he's saying, too. He's like, yo, some of these dudes, got their money and are sitting nice. They made real investments in the other side of the world, the real world, with their money and started cleaning their money out, right?
Independent label, real killers. Know the business, ran Tennessee for years, now they chillin'. They had the coke game, something crazy. Soul music out the trunk of their car, that shit amazed me. Put me on the heroin blunts, showed me something. Took a puff, what the fuck, I turned and punched them. Southern niggas ain't slow, nigga try to play me. I left from around them dudes, they cool but they crazy. Now I'm back.
See what he's saying? Sometimes you gotta know something. I once heard this, that one of the best things that you can do to add to your life is to subtract from it. Sometimes you need to know when to cut somebody off that's no good for your future or the future of your well-being. That's deep.
Around the old school and raised me. New York gangsters, we lounging out in LA. See, a dude broke my dog from Pelican Bay to let's say, Nas, I got your back, the fools don't play. I rode with some Crips down to a Crenshaw funeral. Never saw so many men slaughtered and I knew the whole responsible. The niggas still alive in the hospital. Midnight they crept in his room and shot the doctor too.
He said, yo, you supported, if you're friends with somebody that I'm an enemy with, then you're my enemy too. And you try to revive his ass, you're my enemy too.
See, my cousin's in the game, thugging and things. He plugged me with a dame who was half Mexican, gave the ass up.
They don't really say that anymore. Nas uses it. Another Nas song I was listening to, he said the same thing. People were like, what's a dame? That's a chick, right? Basically.
Who was half Mexican, gave the ass up. I'm a Mac Daddy Soprano. You passed me the indigo, but the imbecile should've never tippy-toed. Thought my eyes were closed. Open in the hotel room door. The little goons in, but I moved in the manner. On some Jet Li shit. I let the hammers blow, went 3 kids. See, honey thought I had something to do with all the drama, cause I was with the crew that had the people killed, called up my cousin. Told him I ain't fucking with you. He responded cool, but told me out here, this how motherfuckers get down.
That motherfuckers move like that out here, bro. You gotta watch yourself, bro. Depending on where you are.
Everybody.
And what does Black Dot say? Walk on eggshells, sleep on a bed of nails, right? Those are all like, yo, you better move with caution.
Get
down.
What I really gotta say is that if that's how people gonna get down, how we ever gonna get up? How we ever gonna get up if that's how we get down? Shame when you really look at it. My folk against your folk. But we all kinfolk. Somebody got to make a change.
Again, Nas has been putting intelligence into his rhyme for decades. Legit, right? Listen to what he's saying, right? It's funny because I was watching this on another video, and it showed that if why are we discriminated on, right? But when you look at it, they were showing the powers that be are truly the minority. If everybody were unified, we would be basically running our world, but instead we let this small group of special interests run the entire world because we're not unified. There's all types of different things that are injected into our life to break us up. And it's so funny that this is something that they were saying 20 years ago now that still hasn't come across. It's not common knowledge that we're being manipulated every day. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe to the video and to this channel if you like not just Nas, but good music. We're going back. A lot of people are arguing the top tier of the hip-hop game is Nas. And we're looking back at a bunch of classics and saying, how could we possibly dethrone him? Who are the people that are standing up to Nas? I wanted to revisit some of his classics, and without further ado, let's get to it.